Jaomabike everyone, it is I, Jinx McGuffin, and for my long overdue 30 subscriber special, I'm going to use both theory and fact to connect the world of Jet Set Radio to Jet Set Radio Future. Now, as I was writing the script, I realized that the only way for me to connect the games was to answer all of the important questions in Future's story, and then relay those answers back to the original. I finally decided halfway through, the heck with it. I'm just gonna answer all the Future's questions and then connect the worlds at the same time. No biggie. Strap in, folks, this is gonna be a long one. Now, question 1. Are we in the same Tokyo To? Now, if one was to look at the map from both games, they could obviously say that no, it's not. But due to further research, I can deduct that this is the same Tokyo To, but it's just that the maps view different perspectives. Now, the map of Jet Set Radio shows us all of Tokyo To, but the map in Future, it shows us a smaller portion of the island, much smaller. Specifically, this little region right here.
And why, you may ask?
Because in this region, everything would fit. Now check this out. If I were to flip the map of Future upside down, it would match up with everything in the Jet Set Radio map. Observe. Benton Show is the city of the night, just like 99th Street, the Skyscraper District, Highway 0, and all the other night stages. There's also Kogane-cho, which is the city of the sunset, just like Kiwagaka Hill, Rokakudai Heights, and the fortified residential zone, plus both parts of the Tokyo Underground sewage facility. And finally we have Shibuya-cho, the city of the sunset, or daylight, sorry I mixed up the sunrise, We have Shibuya-cho, city of daylight, which includes Chuo Street, Dogenzaka Hill, Akage Street, and Shibuya Terminal. I mean, come on. It's a bus terminal in Shibuya. Shibuya Terminal, that's just economically correct. Now, here's the kicker. Benton-cho is in the west, Kogane-cho is in the east, and Shibuya-cho is in the south, which would fit perfectly with a flipped Jet Set Radio Future map. Now that we've proven that, let's just ask ourselves, does it look like the same Tokyo To? I mean, do both Tokyo Tos look the same? Definitely. I mean, besides the fact that Tokyo To Future, which I'm now just going to call Tokyo 2 to save time, it has great technological advances such as zero beats, terror drones, and holographic signs. That's about it on the whole Future portion of Tokyo 2. I mean, there's no flying cars, there are no teleporters, nothing like that. So, Tokyo 2 and Tokyo To, they definitely both look virtually the same, but before I finish off this question, I just want to say that the new GG Garage, it must be located somewhere somewhere in the exact middle of all 3 districts of Tokyo 2. That would make it easier for them to access all the districts at once and penetrate the homes of other rival gangs. And vice versa, kind of like how, Yo-Yo was kidnapped. Alright, question number 2. Is Jet Set Radio the same radio station as the original? Yes, it is, and here are the 2 reasons why. First off is quote.
Yeah, boy, we kicking it live. Welcome to the new Jet Set Radio. Hold on. Wait a minute. I think I'm gonna call it. Yeah, Jet Set Radio Future. And when I say future, I don't mean all that stuff that Nostradamus wrote. The future is one big blank slate, y'all. And it's up to you to decide what goes on in it.
This quote shows us that everything before this point was Jet Set Radio. Second off, we know it's the same DJ for both stations because K both looks and sounds the same. In fact, he has the same voice actor, Billy Brown. Although, K has definitely aged, from the deepness of his voice to the grandness of his hair, but by how much? And this leads me to question 3. How long has it been from Jet Set Radio to Jet Set Radio Future? I'm very sorry to tell you, but this question is unanswerable. No. I mean, the only unit of time we have is that Jet Set Radio Future is set in 2024. And that's it. I mean, there are no character ages given off in either games for me to even speculate the time jump. Originally, I theorized that since, the game Jet Set or Jet Grind Radio was made in 2000 and Jet Set Radio Future was set in 2024, that it had been 24 years. Sadly though, this breaks one of the 2 requirements in order to work with both stories. It has to be long enough for Kay to turn old, but at the same time, short enough so that the Rudies are still young. So, sorry about that. On to question number 4. Who caused the blackout on 99th Street?
The mysterious blackout on 99th Street.
It had to have been, drumroll please, the Noise Tanks, because they did the exact same thing in the first game.
Word is, last month's big blackout was their work. Look out, get these guys mad and there's no cable for the kids.
I can't tell you exactly why they did it, but they did it. Question number 5. Who attacked and robbed the record store on Chuo Street?
The attack on the record store on Chuo Street?
The answer has got to be Zero Beat. Specifically, the third one. I would like to give a quick little shout out to JSRFTheory. If not for his Zero Signal video, I wouldn't be able to simplify this answer for you guys. So, special thanks to him. Go check him out. Links in the description, all that good stuff. But back to it. Who is the third Zero Beat? Well, he's the one you play as at the end of the game. The reason why there are 2 in the final tagger's tag instead of 3. And he's also the one who sprayed all that crazy graffiti throughout Tokyo 2. Here are my 3 reasons why I think that the third Zero Beat did it. Unlike his brothers, he was always on the prowl. 2, he was always spraying graffiti throughout Chuo Street. And where's the first place we ever see him? Dancing on Chuo Tower. This leads to the second part of this question. Why did he do it? Allow me to explain. In the original Jet Set Radio, there was a mysterious indie record known as The Devil's Contract that was rumored to be able to summon a demon. Combo refuted these accusations as a myth. But due to the presence of the Demon Rhino and the appearance of Akumu, I beg to differ. The Devil's Contract was originally in the possession of Coin, who had a record store in Grind City that was broken into. What a coincidence that the same thing would happen in future, resulting in the disc being stolen again. We know that it was the Devil's Contract used in Future because it sounds like Grace and Glory. And in Jet Set Radio Future, the final boss theme is a remix of that exact song. So, thanks to Goji's broadcast, we know that the Devil's Contract requires negative energy in order to operate. Which brings us to our next question. Question number 6. What is the Rokaku Expo? Now, it was originally set up in Rokaku Stadium, yet somehow ended up in Shibuya Terminal. I don't know. The Rokaku Expo was a ploy to bring an absurd amount of people into one spot, then absorb their negative energy to charge the Devil's Contract. Goji's offerings worked in both games, but he was ultimately defeated in both. Question number 7. Why was Beat spreading vicious rumors? Well, Beat went to Dogenzaka Hill, which we now know is in Shibuya-cho, the GG's home turf. After the event that caused the GG's to split, Korn replaced Beat as the leader of the gang, and found a new garage. Beat, knowing info about past GG members, started spreading vicious rumors to lure them out and reclaim his role as leader through winning the Dogenzaka Hill race, which he obviously lost. Question number 8. Why was the god statue stolen? I'll have to explain that one later. Now, for the rest of the video, I'm just going to explain the characters and answer story problems simultaneously. But first, question number 9. How are there spray cans all around the city? So, apparently due to some street soul hippy-dippy crap, only Rudies can see the spray cans and use them to spray the graffiti that brings out the soul of the street. My question is, how are the spray cans randomly spread out throughout the city? That bump was made by Faust of JSRL. I just want to say that I hope we're cool, even though I stole your video. Question number 10, our first character question. Now, I'll be explaining Gum and Korn. After the event that caused the GG to split apart, Korn and Gum stuck together. This is not because they were dating. Now, look, I'm not just saying that because I pair Beat and Gum, but because them dating just doesn't fit up with Gum's character. Same thing with Beat and Gum, that also doesn't fit. When introducing the GGs, Kay says, and I quote, Gum, a real cool lady who leaves a trail of broken hearts wherever she goes. And in the manual it says, she's a perverse lady with a tendency to abandon the guy 10 minutes after winning his heart. That means that Korn and Gum would have broken up long before the GGs did. That being said, why did they stick together? The reason is, Korn and Gum are brother and sister. Now, I'm sure someone's probably going to be like, well, actually, Korn was a mistranslation of Cone in the American version, so guess what, punk? It says it in the manual, it says it in the game, I'm running with it. Here's my first reason why. They're both native to food, so it would be kind of weird if they weren't related. 2, because of their genes. In Jet Set Radio, Gum is shown to have blonde hair, and just like Corn does in Future. Before we go on any further, let me explain Tab. Corn and Gum didn't want the rest of the gang to know that they were related, so Corn sprayed his hair brown with a spray can and would call himself Tab. After the GG split, it was just him and Gum, so he had no one to hide his true identity from, and reverted to his old self. In Jet Set Radio Future, Gum still has blonde hair, supporting my theory further. Question number 11, explaining Yo-Yo. Now, before I go any further, I want everyone to know that Potts has got to be Yo-Yo's dog. I mean, not only do they have the same entry dance in Future, but they have the same glasses type. It's little, but they're definitely related. It has to be his owner, that has to be his pet. I want everyone to know that for later on, so. But back to Yo-Yo. In Jet Set Radio, he was fat, but after the GGs broke up, he kept skating around, doing some parkour, and it caused him to lose lots of weight. And after learning about the GG's reformation, he sprayed his hair green along with Potts' fur to match his new weight and look. After rejoining the GG's gang, he's kidnapped by the Golden Rhino shortly after, and is used as the base for NT-3000. The question is, why? I mean, why did this happen to Yo-Yo of all people? I mean, story-wise, a lot of crap kind of revolves around him, but at the same time, Beat is the main character, so just why? Well, I mean, the answer is pretty simple. Yo-Yo is the first character we ever play as, the one we ever control, and so I think that he's supposed to represent us as the player, even though we don't always play as him. I believe that Yo-Yo, he represents the main character, or us, Just the new guy coming into the GGs, stuff like that. We are the new player, and Yo-Yo is the new player. Even though lore-wise he is returning, but to all of the new players of Jet Set Radio Future, we are new, and we are a new Rudy, and a new world, and this new, place. I'm spitballing again. Sorry about that. Question number 12, explaining Beat. In the original Jet Set Radio, he was the leader of the GGs until they all broke up and Corn assumed leadership. Years later, Beat is back in Shibuya-cho, ready to become leader of the GGs once again, and uses nasty rumors to lure them out. The big question for Beat is, what is his universal meaning? Besides being the franchise's mascot 2 games running, he may have a much bigger role lore-wise. I mean, not only does he coincidentally have a robotic clone of himself that shares the same name, but his name can be heard in the final boss theme of both games. Okay, I know the final boss thing is stretching it, but hear me out. What if Beat is an alien, an invader from planet Scratch? The reason I say that is because nothing is really known about his past, and I got this theory from studying the Jet Set Radio Future Graffiti Soul. It's obvious that it was modeled after Beat's design. Both it and Beat are the only ones in the series to ever wear those kind of headphones. Also, the Graffiti Soul's eyes are the same shape of Beat's glasses, and the arrows at the bottom point left and right, just like the tattoos on Beat's shoulders. The 3 rows in the middle of its eyes are a homage to the original. That's all I can really tell you. But that's not important. Now, let's look at the shape of the logo's head. It, combined with the eyes, appears to look like an alien. The logo looks really freaky and has headphones, so I guess you could call it the headphone-wearing freak. Oh yeah, it's all coming back full circle. Yeah, that's what Gum called Beat when he first heard about him. It's all coming back full circle now. Now, I know what you're saying. Why would an alien come to Tokyo-to? Well, check out these clips.
Martians come all the way to Earth just to listen to us. We're Tokyo's finest pirate radio, Jet Set Radio. We're kicking it live, even in the furthest reaches of the galaxy. And to all you aliens out there, I know you're planning to invade us. Whenever you're ready, just bring it on, suckers.
Beat may have come to Tokyo-to to meet Kay, or maybe he really is an invader. Question number 13. I'm gonna be explaining Garam, and just why is he randomly hanging out in the sewers? Well, here's my theory. After the GG split, Garam wandered around for a little bit as a lone Rudy. A few years later, he heard that Cube was hanging out with Poison Jam in the sewers, and went to go see her. I figured that Cube and Garam were friends because in Jet Set Radio their costumes both had very gothic elements, but anyway. He goes to speak with Cube and gets threatened by Poison Jam. Cube then offers to spare his life if he sends civilians to the bottom point of the underground Tokyo sewage facility. So then people get caught in Garam's trap and he sends them to Cube. Now, here are two side questions. One, why are people going to the sewer facility in the first place? The reason? To get home. The only way to get to the fortified residential zone and Kibugaoka Hill is through the sewage facility. I'm not sure why it's down there of all places, but alright, sure. And number two, what happened to those who weren't sent to Cube? Well, according to Cube's cutscene, they were eaten. That's right, lunch for the master. You see how she said, more helpless prey? That proves that the 29 people who fell in Garam's trap before you were saved. And then killed. Question number 14. I'm going to be explaining Cube, the character with the biggest role in the entirety of the Jet Set Radio Future plot. Now, after the GG split up, she stopped hanging out with Combo and took leadership of Rapid 99. She then left them to join Poison Jam. For Cube's story, we have 3 game-changing questions. 1. Why did she join and leave Rapid 99? 2. Why did she join and leave Poison Jam? And 3. How did she know that NT3000 was a fake? The first answer took some thinking, but then it kind of came to me. Cube joined Rapid 99 because they were a woman-only gang, and believed that women were better than men, hence this quote. Now, the second and third answers are because she was working with the Rokaku group. Now, this explanation has a lot of theory, but it's backed up by a lot of facts, so while Cube was with Rapid 99, she was approached by Goji that told her if she could get rid of the GGs, there would finally be peace in the streets, and another coin incident would never happen. Cube agreed to this and was given a helmet that could control Poison Jam, who were still trapped in the bottom of the Tokyo underground sewage facility. Now remember, at the end of Jet Set Radio, it never officially said that Poison Jam was free of their mind control devices, and I know that Rokaku made the helmet because it's golden, and have antennas that look similar to Zero Beats. Now back to the story. Even though Poison Jam was under Cube's control, they still had mental defects from the mind control devices. They had difficulty speaking and would sometimes make strange noises to compensate. Now, Cube led Poison Jam onto the streets to lure the GGs to the bottom of the Tokyo underground sewage facility by stealing the goddess statue in the turret. Once the GGs arrive to Cube's dinner party, she throws away her helmet and lets PJ loose on the GGs. Sadly though, they're afraid due to their newfound control and run away from the GGs until they're found and clobbered. Cube then abandons Poison Jam and uses the distraction to kidnap Yo-Yo for Rokaku. Rokaku then creates NT3000 to trick and destroy the GGs. Cube watches the chaos as the GGs fight off the Rokaku police and realizes that there will never be peace in the streets. She then unveils NT3000 as a fake and then returns to the bottom of the Tokyo underground sewage facility to think on her mistakes. That was a really big theory. But if there ever is a remake, I want a deep explanation like that one. A really cool and deep story, as I said before. Question number 15, explaining Boogie. I want everyone to know that Boogie is just a random girl who has no affiliation to Piranha whatsoever, except for her skin color. Question number 16. Why did the Noise Tanks think that Jazz was a GG? Although the Noise Tanks never officially said that. I believe that when they were rounding up the gangs for Deathball, they found a lone Rudy Jazz and affiliated her to the hottest gang at the moment. Question number 17. What's up with Clutch? Now, during this happy time that Yo-Yo is missing, a random man appears in the garage, and guess what?
It's not the pizza guy.
He then steals your graffiti souls, and then you have to catch him. This scenario makes me ask, why are graffiti souls so important? There's no real answer, but maybe lore-wise, there's more to these souls than just unlocking graffiti. Also, I think Clutch knew that Yo-Yo was in the residential zone because he lives there. Question number 18, explaining the NT series. Now, the NT001s faced off against the original GGs, but were destroyed and sent into repair. 999 models later, and we have the failed NT1000 prototype, Roboy. It never officially stated that he was 1000, but I just figured as much. 1000 models later, and we have the NT2000s, the current model which went up against the newly reinstated GGs of Jet Set Radio Future. That is, until they were replaced by the more superior NT3000 model, which was destroyed. ending the Noise Tank series. Now, the question that comes from this lore is, why was Roboy's design discarded? We know that Roboy was a Noise Tank prototype because he shares the same dance of an NT2000, and we know he was thrown away because it says so in the manual. JSRF Theory believed it was because of his personality. That is a very reasonable idea in theory, because Roboy, for all we know, was the first Noise Tank to ever speak. Gum said that he was always been pretty annoying, so perhaps he was like this when he was reactivated after Korn fixed him up. By the way, when K calls Korn a self-styled genius, he means that he's smart. I wish they expanded on that a bit more in game with his personality, but anyway, my theory about Roboy's rejection is actually a style choice. I think that the developers of the game didn't want, this look to be the model for the Noise Tanks, and thought it would fit more with the GGs. That's just my theory. Question number 19. How does Potts walk or skate among us? The answer is, he's a robot. In Jet Set Radio, he was made into a machine by the Noise Tanks and moved like a cow. Ever since then, he's been able to skate on two legs like everyone else. I'm gonna call him NT002. And get this, he and NT3000 are the only Noise Tanks to ever dance like that, so perhaps Potts may be the most advanced Noise Tank of all time. I mean, saying the fact that the most advanced originally was NT3000 and he was defeated. Question number 20. Why does Rapid99 hate Poison Jam so much? It's simple. Poison Jam stole the leader Q from them. Question number 21. Why did the Immortals help the Noise Tanks and NT3000 after they stole its Earth? Well, there are two possible answers via theory. The Noise Tanks A could have threatened their lives, or B, they already had the brainwashing chip implemented in their brains after their turf was taken. Now, if the second one is true, that means that the Love Shockers are the only gang to not have the chip, even though they lost a Death Ball. Probably because Hayashi crashed the party, giving them time to escape. Question number 22. Why didn't Poison Jam kill Q? Besides the fact they were theoretically under Q's control, in Jet Set Radio, Poison Jam was defeated before she showed up, so there's no way they would have known she was a GG. I don't know if I said this earlier, but they were theoretically trapped at the bottom of the Tokyo Underground Sewage facility, because they went, mental from the mind control. Question number 23. What is the fate of Poison Jam? After the GG tag battle, they were free from the mind control and wanted revenge on Rokaku. They planned on doing that by destroying NT3000. They were ultimately defeated by him, and the rest is unknown. These theories are getting more and more far-fetched. Question number 24. Where is the pizza guy? Question number 25. Here's the one that everyone's been waiting for. If Rokaku was killed at the end of Jet Set Radio, how is he alive in Jet Set Radio Future? Now, this is pure theory, but with all the facts I've gathered, it could definitely work. Hear me out. Goji did die in Jet Set Radio, but his son who took over had the same name, yet it was spelled differently. Here's my reasoning why Goji Sr. is definitely dead. Check out the statue in Rokaku-dai Heights. Although Kei says it's just a statue, I think it's a gravestone. A statue to an ancestor and a gravestone could easily be the same thing. And speaking of statue, look, it looks just like the original Goji in Jet Set Radio. I mean, he has a cane and all. Rokaku-dai Heights was probably named in honor of the deceased Goji Sr. Now that we've explained that, I can tell you my theory. Goji in Jet Set Radio Future is actually a Noise Tank that was programmed to continue the will of Goji by using the Devil's Contract. I know that it was a Noise Tank for two reasons. One, it showed what looked like a Noise Tank for Goji's son at the end of Jet Set Radio. And two, Noise Tanks can change their appearance as shown by NT3000. The Noise Tank changed its appearance to look like a Rokaku descendant and called himself Rocker to show a difference between him and his creator. If Goji Jr. in JSRF really was a Noise Tank, that would explain a lot. It would explain why he was stuttering in his vocal pitch shifts and glitches, and why his mouth animation was so robotic.
I hold the key to the future of mankind.
And also it would explain why he turned into a robot after he absorbed the Devil's Contract. I know it's really crazy of a theory, but it could definitely work. I think that's about it. We did it. I know you guys were looking for an answer as to why only Rudies can see the spray cans, and I'm sorry, but That's just some hippy-dippy soul crap, and we're never gonna get an answer to it. Thank you all so much for my long overdue 30 subscribers special, even though I already put out my 40. I'm sorry guys, it's just that people have been checking out my channel a lot more, thanks to shoutouts from multiple people, and leaving me with lots of specials to do. I know you guys may call it a cop-out, but that's only because all my other specials aren't out yet. This video was a lot more explaining the story than it was connecting the worlds, but that's okay. Those first couple of questions really showed some strong possible connections. Guys, this may be one of the last Jet Set Radio feature videos I do until a new installment is announced, so you know what, I'm gonna answer 2 more questions just for you guys. Final question number 1. Why did Yo-Yo lie? Let me explain what I mean. After Yo-Yo was rescued, Kay tells us that he went looking for information and was captured by the Golden Rhinos. But in the cutscene where Yo-Yo vanished, it shows Yo-Yo's glasses on the floor. Maybe they flew off when he was taken, and Kay specifically said, no ransom note, something that's only found after kidnapping. So, if Yo-Yo was kidnapped, why are we told that he went looking for answers? Because Yo-Yo is a liar. In the manual, it says, and I quote, he loves to tell a lie more than anything else. So, here's what I think really happened. After Yo-Yo was rescued, he told everyone that he went looking for information so that he wouldn't be made fun of for being kidnapped. His untruthful story spread through the streets until it was heard by Kay and broadcasted to us. Final question number 2. This is a really cool one right here, guys. Why are they called the GGs? Every other gang name isn't abbreviated and usually fits with the outfit or environment of the gang. But not the GGs. Why is their name so special? What does it mean? After I discovered the answer, I felt kind of silly, and I'm sure you guys will too. They're not the GGs, they're the good guys. Just let that sink in for a second.